Hi everyone, it's Jung here. Today I'll be flipping through my finished December Daily 2019 album. I do plan on having a blog post with all the photos of each day. I just haven't gotten to it yet, but once I get that, I will leave it linked in the info bar below. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. The album I'm using is from Ali Edwards, and for my cover page, I stamped 2019 using Kerri Bradford Studio stamps. The Merry Christmas is one that I made using the Glimmer hot foil system from Spellbinders, and the pattern paper is from Hip Kit Club. For day one, I made an acetate pocket, and we went to see Frozen 2. And my husband also decided to put the lights on our house, and so I'm documenting both stories. And this page, or this spread rather, is on my blog. I did it for Hip Kit Club. For a lot of my numbers, I made the little tags that you see there in the upper right hand corner. I used a stamp set that's a Hip Kit Club exclusive that was included in their December documented kit. And sometimes I heat embossed it with gold embossing powder, or I use that same pinkish red ink that I used for my cover page, and that's an Ali Edwards ink. And then I stamped the date right under the number. Okay, so for my day two, I also have this one on the blog. Originally, it was going to be my day one, but we ended up going to see Frozen and things. So I just moved this over to my day two. I did some stenciling on the back of this light blue cardstock. Those houses were from a Hip Kit Club exclusive ephemera kit, and they went perfectly with my little village of houses that I decorated with. For my day three, I'm documenting my daughter's love of the Frozen soundtrack. I went ahead and bought this cut file from the Silhouette store, and I cut it out 2 times and I glued them together so it would be a little bit thicker. I screenshot the Frozen soundtrack on my phone, printed it out, and glued it behind that. And on the other side, I did a little flip up. It flips up easily, but it's a little tougher to go back in because I put a stopper in it. And so I just wanted to document her face while she was singing with her little Frozen karaoke machine. Day 4 is all about matching Christmas PJs. I kept the tags from the PJs, and that's what you see in this pocket on the top. The Fa La La and the tags are from last year's crepe paper collection. This story journaling card is from In a Creative Bubble. Day 5 is my daughter's Christmas concert. I used several In a Creative Bubble journaling cards. That Be of Good Cheer and the number 5 are both Kerri Bradford Studio stamps, and I heat embossed the number 5 with red glitter embossing powder onto a piece of vellum, and I backed it with a Hip Kit Club exclusive journaling card. Day 6 is a pretty simple one. I just had my daughters fill out what their favorite things about Christmas are. That tree journaling card is In a Creative Bubble, and this card right here is just a piece of white cardstock that I used an embossing folder on, and the embossing folder is from We Are Memory Keepers. And then I added a tab and stamped it with a sentiment from Kerri Bradford Studio. And then day 7, I have a blog post about, and we just stayed home, did some crafts, and watched Abominable. That Merry and Bright tag, and then the little ornament stickers is from Pink Fresh Studio. And then I made another number tag from Hip Kit Club. The next day is our Dear Santa letters. Those Dear Santa letter postcards are from In a Creative Bubble, and we went to see Santa this day, so I documented that. The pattern paper is from crepe paper, and this little card is from In a Creative Bubble as well, and so is that tag. The Santa Claus stamp is from Kerri Bradford Studio, and those little silver numbers I haven't mentioned yet are dies. They're from My Favorite Things, and I just die cut them from silver cardstock. For day 9, I'm documenting our Starbucks trip. I took the girls to get some Starbucks because I needed to go get some gift cards for teacher gifts. And I jumped on the hexagon trend that's been very popular this year. I actually used dye from the stamp market, and I die cut the Starbucks cups as well as some pattern paper. That Fa La La journaling card is from In a Creative Bubble. Day 10, we received our Christmas cards in the mail, and I used a piece of packaging and I made a tag, or I cut down a tag that's from In a Creative Bubble to fit inside of that pocket. And I journaled a little bit about the photo shoot of the Christmas PJs and the Christmas tree. Day 11 is just simple new ornaments and ribbon this year, and I used those silver numbers again. Day 12 is several pages, and I made this for Hip Kit Club, and I used a lot of Hip Kit Club exclusives. This pattern paper I actually made by stamping a whole bunch of their sentiment stamps that came in the November kits, I believe. And the journaling card, the little sticker, those are all Hip Kit Club exclusives. I do have a blog post and YouTube video on this one as well. Day 13 is a field trip day for my daughter. My husband was the chaperone. That little card I made by using a stencil from Hip Kit Club and some Nuvo glimmer paste. And I used those silver numbers again, and that is actually a pamphlet from the museum that they went to. Day 14 is just an around the house page, and I really liked these 2x2 squares to kind of use up some of the photos that I have of my decorations from this year. So I included the picture of our tree and just some of the decorations around the house, and those numbers again I used from Hip Kit Club. And then on the back side, day 15 is my daughter had a gift card to go to Build-A-Bear, and it was literally burning a hole in her pocket, and so we finally took them to Build-A-Bear. My oldest daughter was on a sleepover, so I thought we would treat the younger ones. I used some scraps for the 2x2 pattern paper squares. I used a lot of Ali Edwards word stickers, and then that Fa La La pattern paper was crepe paper last year. Day 16 is just nothing special. We went to Costco. I painted my nails kind of thing. And that little journaling card is from In a Creative Bubble, and it's actually a 3x8 journaling card that I cut up. Day 17 was my daughter's band concert, and I have a little flip up here. That pocket is really cool. It's a fuse pocket, and so I just fused it right along the seam that was already there. And that journaling card is In a Creative Bubble, and the 17 stamps are the Kerri Bradford stamps. For day 18, I documented finishing making the teacher gifts. This gift card holder was a set of dies and the stamps, and they're all from the stamp market. I think it's super cute. The teachers love them as well. The little handmade stamp is also from the stamp market. I stamped the day 18, that's Kerri Bradford Studio, and the pattern paper is from Crate Paper's holiday collection this year. Day 19, I have a blog post for, I created this for Hip Kit Club. I did a double vellum pocket, and I got some really fun happy mail from my friend, and so I wanted to document that. I saved some of the stamps. Here's my little photo strip. And she sent me those advent candles and a homemade ornament that I will treasure forever and ever. And yeah, I had to include this in my December daily. Day 20 was my daughter's class party, and I have a blog post for this one as well. I used a lot of the Hip Kit Club December kits, and there is a lot of exclusives in that kit as well. Day 21 is a part of that same blog post. I use a lot of Hip Kit Club products. The numbers, we made gingerbread houses on this day, and so I really thought the snow globe with the houses was really cute, and I believe that's a Hip Kit Club exclusive. I also shared a gingerbread hack on my Instagram stories about how I used a glue gun to assemble the gingerbread houses instead of trying to wait for the frosting to dry, and that worked out wonderfully. Day 22, I believe, is on a video or a blog post, and I just journaled about wrapping presents. And that star tag is actually a gift tag that I used for my gifts, and I just stamped right on that tag with the numbers and heat embossed. On day 23, we baked cookies. I made another vellum pocket with cardstock, and those are actually supposed to be mittens, but I thought it looked like oven mitts, and that's a puffy sticker from Pink Fresh Studios collection last year, I believe. And that recipe card is in a creative bubble, and again I used another of the 2x2 square pages. I really like to use those when I have a lot of photos, and I kind of made a small sequin pocket right there. That sugar, butter, and flour is from In a Creative Bubble. I used the Hip Kit Club numbers, and this pattern paper is crepe paper, and I actually used it on day 22 as well. For day 24, we usually open our gifts to each other before we do anything else. Well, the girls do. We started a new tradition where they buy each other gifts using their own money. I used, these stickers are crepe paper from last year, and that big pattern paper on the right is crepe paper from last year as well. And so I just have some photos before we spent time with our family. And this is a really simple page, but somehow it's one of my favorite spreads. On the left, I have my girls in front of our tree, and on the right, I have a photo of my husband's mom and all of her grandkids, and I just really love how simple this looks. The stamps are from Kerri Bradford. Finally, for day 25, the background pattern paper is Pink Fresh Studio. I used an alley sticker that says Believe. The Santa Was Here letter stickers are super, super old. I got them from Michael's. And this 3x8 journaling card is from In a Creative Bubble. And again, I used the Hip Kit Club numbers. Can you believe this is the only photo that I took on Christmas Day? So to finish off my album, I just added another hexagon pattern paper page to the back of that 3x8 journaling card. And then I created a pocket page. I believe this pattern paper is Heidi Swap, and it's from the Hip Kit Club kits. And I just wanted a place to house all of my Christmas cards that I received. And with that, my 2019 album is done. My style is pretty clean and simple, and that is fine by me. I love how it turned out. And in a second, I'll show you what I did for the spine here. I used an In a Creative Bubble tag, and I stamped the 19 using the Hip Kit Club exclusive stamp set. And I just hand wrote 20 right on top of that, so it says 2019. And next I'm going to show you some of the supplies. The Ali Edwards Rose Garden stamp set or stamp pad that I use for a lot of the numbers. The StazOn ink stamps really crisply, so I use that for the sentiment. This Moxie gold embossing powder that I received from the Hip Kit Club kits, if it would focus. I use that for a lot of the numbers as well. Speaking of, here are the number stamp sets that I used primarily for my numbering. This is the Hip Kit Club exclusive stamp set that was in the December documented kit. And this is the Kerri Bradford stamp set. This is the one that I used on my cover page, as well as a few times inside the album as well. I love them both. I also use this sentiment set a lot from Kerri Bradford, and I really like all the holiday sentiments. I used Ali Edwards word stickers a lot. I didn't use the green too much, but I did use the white quite a bit. Next, I will show you some of the journaling cards that I printed are from In a Creative Bubble, like that one that you see. That's one of the ones that I trimmed. And then there are a lot of Hip Kit Club exclusive journaling cards as well. And then some pattern paper that I cut down. That one's In a Creative Bubble, In a Creative Bubble, Hip Kit Club exclusives. So I used a lot of those, and then I used a lot of these crepe paper lines that one I got it Tuesday morning. It's from last year, and I was thrilled to find it at my Tuesday morning. And here is the stamp set and the die set that I used for the teacher gifts. And again, it's from the Stamp Market. It's called Merry Mail and Mailbox Gift Card Holder. Those are some of the most used supplies. I hope you enjoyed this flip through video. Please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Hi, like and subscribe.